Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Hello, everyone. We are live. We are live. Yes, thank you so much for being here. I am excited to talk to you all today or to show my interview that I had with Taz earlier and to just play that for you, but I will be here, but air the video that I did or the interview or the talk with Taz. It was really nice to get to know her and to speak with her and to, talk about all the things that we talk about in royalty. And we talked a little bit about the state visit, our time at Lady C's. We talked about our YouTube channels. We talked about the very beginnings of our channel. We talked about the future of Harry and Meghan, what that looks like, and the future of the monarchy, and just a little bit of everything we talked about. So I'm going to be playing that video of my time with Taz. But before I do that, I wanted to just talk a little bit just about the state visit and to show you all some pictures and to just we talked about the state visit. If I didn't say that, yeah, we talked about that. And to just look at these lovely pictures and to just look at how beautiful Catherine looked. I thought she looked just beautiful, just stunning, stunning. And with Prince William, yeah, and Princess Royal. And it was really nice to see the get-togethers of those in the monarchy, those in the higher the real royals, shall we say, the real royals. Yes, we know we have those that are perpetrating fraud-like behavior of royalty, but it was really nice to see the actual royals. And to also mention that there is this show on Netflix called Rebel Royals with Princess Marguerite Louise and the husband that she married. I am fascinated with this story because it was one of those stories that had some similarities with um, Meghan and Harry, and I just when I watched it because they brought up Meghan and Harry in the documentary, and I was really interested in what they were saying around these issues around racism that I would just love to talk about at some point, only because that is something that I think I would be able to offer some insight on. And because there is some comparison there. There is some comparison of, what her life is like now, married to this black shaman, and just some things that I thought were so similar. And I just actually just finished watching it. So I just wanted to bring it up really quickly just because I thought it was fascinating to just to watch, just to see their story, because you always see stories but then in the news, and then when you see their story as from their perspective, it offers a different insight, different a contrast to their lives. So that was very interesting. So I will definitely be talking more about that. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here. I will possibly, hi Lizzie B. Thank you so much for being here again. And I will pop in and out if need be. But otherwise, please enjoy. Oh, Otis. He just sneezed on me. Otherwise, let's enjoy my conversation with Taz.
Like it from the point of view.
Oh, that was just Otis. He just let out a nice little one. Look at this. Look at this hot mess. Look at you, Otis. Look at you, and it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay, yeah. Don't try to apologize now. Don't try to apologize. Just gross. Just gross. Okay. Okay, Otis. All right. Let's get this going.
Family. I mean, when you
Yeah.
think how many presidents that the Queen met in her time, how many presidents Prince William, since he's been on this earth, have already been. There's going to be Lord.
Hold on, I'm not sure I started this from the beginning. I'm sorry. Let me go back.
Okay, so first things first. So what were your thoughts about the state visit?
I'm personally loving it. It's a very, very tight line with people where they get upset. Obviously, politics. Trump is not everybody's favorite person for obvious reasons. But I think I personally like it from the point of view with the royal family. I mean, when you think how many presidents that the Queen met in her time, how many presidents Prince William, since he's been on this earth, have already been. There's going to be Lord knows how many. I mean, I can't even do the math off the top of my head, but how many presidents in Prince William's lifetime? So whilst some people are getting a little bit upset about it, I'm seeing it on social media. You need to keep the bonds really tight between our two countries, because we do have a special relationship.
Right.
And I think that the royals put on something that goes beyond, it surpasses politics. And I think it's really important to keep that friendship going really, really strong. And as I said, they've entertained, I mean, since I've been a royal watcher, I've seen so many different presidents, and they've all got different political views. So from the perspective of my perspective, I think it's going great. It's brilliant. I really like Melania. I like the way that she is with people. I've just watched a clip of her with Catherine on a joint engagement, and she just comes across as really, really lovely. I love the speech that Donald Trump gave. I thought that was pretty epic.
Leaving Harry out.
Yeah, the newspaper's already started. Trump shades Harry. Trump makes a dig at Harry. Harry isn't even in President Trump's brain. He's not in his brain, because Harry is completely insignificant. Right. Yes, he is talking about Prince William, because Prince William is the future king. Catherine is his queen. And I must admit, some of the looks that he was giving Catherine, he's totally in love with her. Everybody's in love with Catherine.
Yeah.
And P. Dina, the dress.
What's that?
The dress.
Oh, yes. She looked lovely. Wow. Amazing. It's just, I mean, really, anything she wears is going to look fabulous. And she's so classy and put together. And you have to love her, because she really is, she goes along to get along. And she's there to be that person that keeps things moving smoothly. And you love looking at her. And she just has a great aura about her.
Yeah, she does. She does. Everybody seems to love her, no matter their age, from small children right the way to old men. She's got something about her.
Yeah, she really does. And that, I think, is symbolic too, when we look at people like Meghan, who off the bat, just did not get along with Catherine. That gives you, I think, clear insight into the kind of person Meghan is when you contrast that with someone like Catherine, because she just is a very lovely woman that people like. How do you not like that person? And that just shows you the kind of person I think Meghan really is, because she just did not like her at all,
I don't think Meghan is a girl's girl. I don't think she ever has been. If you look at the majority of her pictures of her, she's always flirting with guys from being a teenager right the way up. I've come across women like Meghan in my life. They don't like other women, potentially because they're either threatened by them, or they see them as competition. They like being the center of attention. But Catherine was a very, very real threat to Meghan, because she was the closest female influence that Harry had. He didn't just see her as a sister. I think in some ways he even relied on her, or had feelings and affection towards her, almost in a motherly way, because she looked after him. She looked out for him. And Meghan needed to snip that to be able to manipulate him. And Catherine was definitely on one of the first people she knew that she had to get on the chopping block.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a really good point. Meghan had to do that because it threatened her future with her desire to leave and go to the States, because Catherine, she would have been talking all kind of reason to Harry,
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. So that's really interesting. So tell me, let's just kind of go back from the very beginning. Now, you started your channel when?
I had it come up the other day and it says your channel is 6 years old, but I think I'd set it up 6 years ago, but I think I've only been vocal for about 4 years. I think. I'm
Oh,
sure someone else will tell me.
well, I remember when you started your channel because I was watching your channel and Danger Zone. Were you watching Danger Zone?
I used to watch some of her clips. She was a bit out there. Lovely, very entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Ashley Danger Zone. I remember Murky Meg. I remember Yankee Wally
Yep.
and Celt News as well. They were like the real
Yes.
big originals, you know. They
That's
were the
right.
ones that really hit it all off, and they were so different as well, completely in their opinions. And then we got more and more people, and it's such a diverse range of people now that do it. It's incredible. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great community, isn't it, of people, like-minded people. But I remember you then came shortly thereafter because you were like in that group. Come on now, Taz. You were in that group.
Well, I'd made friends with Murky Meg and Yankee Wally. They were really lovely to me. They took me under their wing, as it were.
Yeah.
And I was quite vocal. I was more vocal on Twitter. And then it was a few people saying, oh, well, other people have got a YouTube channel. Why don't you do it? And believe it or not, the thought terrified me because I'm actually quite a shy, awkward person in so many different ways. Like if you put a glass of wine down my neck, sure, I can chat till the cows come home. But the thought of actually filming myself and having people watch me terrified me. I've never even been able to give a talk in the school assembly or in a meeting. I used to work in finance, and sometimes my manager would be like, you've got to head up this meeting. I'd be like,
Really?
Yeah, I
never
choke.
would have thought.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a big fan of lives, because I have way too much anxiety and I kind of build myself up. I start to panic. Whereas when I film my videos, I feel a lot more relaxed. Like this is fine now, me talking to you, because I've built up a lot more confidence. I talk to you, I talk to Dan, Shauna, but otherwise I like being in my own little safe bubble, in my own little safe space, and I'm fine.
Okay, that's interesting. I never would have thought that though about you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People that met me at the ball were quite surprised on the couple of times I've gone there, because I'm either hiding somewhere or I'm hanging off of someone, because I'm like not clingy in the Meghan Markle way, not controlling, but I just felt really I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is just social anxiety. I think so many of us suffer from it. I've always had it, but yeah.
That's
But there you go.
interesting. Yeah. Well, seeing you at the ball, though. Speaking of the ball, yeah, you know, there's plenty of wine, so
Yeah, exactly. I was
that's
fine.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so tell me about your impressions of the ball and everything. I think this was your second time coming this year.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, you looked absolutely gorgeous. I know you were really stressed because you didn't have your ball gown, but you looked amazing.
Thank you. So did
you
as well.
You look so different as well from the first ball, because you had like long braids in, and then you had a lovely, I think it was a green dress, and then this time it was like a little sexy black cocktail dress with the big gold necklace. You looked amazing, and your hair, wow, yeah, no, you did. You were really fussy about it, and I just thought you looked really great, so I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you.
But I enjoy going to the balls. It's nice to meet lots of different people, and it's very similar to one of the reasons why I love being a YouTuber. The amount of people that I get to meet on a daily basis in the comments, or people talking to me on Twitter or X, whatever. It's still Twitter to me. But you get to meet all these people from all walks of life, all ages, and everybody's got different opinions. And I really enjoy it. But yeah, going to the ball, you do meet some really fascinating people. I was speaking to a Middle Eastern art dealer one minute, and then I was speaking to a lovely woman that was a massive Lady C fan, who was giving me a pair of Texas socks the next. It's great. And Lady C, I love Lady C. I've met her on a personal level a couple of times. I was lucky enough to interview her for her book. And I've met her in lots of different environments. She was nice enough to invite myself and my friend Amber to pre Ascot picnic that she did, and she really is lovely. She's an amazing, but she's so interesting, genuinely fascinating as well, but she's also really, really kind and quirky, so quirky.
Yes, yes, she is. I stayed at her castle for a couple days, and she treated me, myself, and my friend that came with me at the time to a wonderful 2 days, and drove us to London for a very fancy dinner. And and she's a good cook. She cooked for us.
Yes, she did. She was telling me the recipe that she did for her salmon. I've got to try that, but I don't know enough people to cook a salmon that big.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's pretty good at it. I mean, wow. So are you a cook? Do you like to cook?
Oh, I love cooking. I went for a bit of a shift with cooking because my husband went vegetarian 3 years ago. And I'll be honest, the majority of the food that I cooked was very, very meat-based. And it's made me a lot more conscious. So I've cut back an awful lot on meat. I only eat chicken and fish now, and I'm working on that. I don't think I'll ever be fully vegetarian, but it's given me a different aspect of cooking. The things I'm introducing a lot more varied sort of diets, but now I've got into, I can still cook for myself and my husband the same dishes, but I just add in my meat or my fish at the end of it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, I love doing that. I do really enjoy cooking. I don't have as much time as I'd like, but baking, I'm trying baking. I've never been a baker. It's hit and miss. It's trial and error, but anything to do, more savory though, not cakes, pastries. I'm getting really experimental with pastry now. So yeah, watch this space. I'll have my own cooking program soon.
Hey, there you go. You should. I mean, you're really good at what you do. And tell me about your interest in the royal family.
Oh, it's so varied. I love the history of it. It's not like I grew up in a family that were obsessed with the royal family. So when I remember Diana dying, the day Diana died, because I mean, I think I must have only been about 11. And I remember my stepmother crying and being upset. And I remember the newspapers, and I remember this huge emotion that swept across the country. I remember even being at that age when I wasn't that, you're still emotionally developing yourself, remembering what an impact that it really had. Yeah. And when I suppose my first interest was Prince William, because I had posters of him on my wall.
Really? Okay.
I had Backstreet Boys, I had Take That, I had Prince William, and I think Jared Leto. I had them all over my ceiling. And then when he got with Catherine, I started getting the magazines and started reading the stories. So my interest has been that generation, I would say, of the royals. I've literally grown up, because I think I'm the same age as, well, I'm smack bang in the middle of William and Harry. So I've followed their stories and their journeys and, their holidays and their trips. But as I've got older and I start doing this, I mean, I've learned so much more about the Duchess of Kent, who sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago. Her funeral, as you know, was a couple of days ago. What a woman, what a wonderful person. But I'd never even thought to look her up. So where I'm doing stuff and learning stuff, I'm learning with the people, my subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I even have some of them come to me and educate me, which I love. So
yeah, they do that to me too. And it's great because I love to learn.
Me too. When was I at Ascot? Now, this isn't to do with the royal family. It was to do with titles. I met this lovely couple, and I can't remember their name. I'm terrible with names. That they, Lady C introduced me, and they said it was to do with David Beckham and his knighthood. And they said it's Sir David Beckham, but you've called her Lady Victoria. She's not Lady Victoria. She's Lady Beckham. She can't. You can only be Lady Victoria if she was born a lady, because it's the I can't think what the word is, but it's the complimentary title that the man gets. She's allowed to use Lady Beckham. So
I see. Okay, so those are the things that you learn, and
this is what I mean. It's the perfect example of people. I'm on this journey as well, but mine's more to do with the history of it. I mean, I know all the gossip. come on. But again, not the history. So yeah.
Right, the history side it was fascinating. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've liked Diana, Princess Diana. You were I was actually living in London when Diana died,
Oh wow.
and there was a big somber like
Yeah.
feeling to the country when she passed away.
Yeah.
Did you watch the funeral on TV?
I was so young. I vaguely remember. I mean, I can't even remember where I left my glasses an hour ago.
Oh
So
my God.
I, I'm, but no, I do vaguely remember watching it. But I'd imagine I've probably watched more of Diana's funeral as I've got older because of the documentaries, especially
Yeah.
with boys and things. I've learned more about the royal family as I've got older and watched it. But yeah, Diana,
Mhm.
she was a very interesting character. And I think that she was genuinely compassionate and kind. She wasn't a saint. But I really do hate what Harry and Meghan have done by constantly, I hate the expression, but it's perfect, digging her up
Yeah.
all the time. And because of their obsession with Meghan trying to cosplay her, and Harry very mentally unstable, very possessive of his mother's memory. It's his mother in interviews talking about how she doesn't look after William anymore. My mother's watching over me. And it's, to me, that's psychological. That is, you need a different therapist.
Right. Yeah.
Really does. But it's, I think they've allowed, because Harry is her son, and it was always very much Harry and William will come after you. They will sue you if you keep bringing up all of this crap about Diana. There was almost like a, not an unwritten rule. You still had documentaries and magazines coming out, but there was always that element of respect, I would say. Harry's
Mm.
completely destroyed that. He's blown it out of the water. And we've seen more derogatory things coming about Diana
Mhm.
because of, I think, Harry's constant inability to stop using his mother's memory. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think perhaps maybe Megan is the one that is pushing him to do that. Do you
Mm.
think, or do you think, because I don't think he would have done that had he not been with Megan.
She's manipulated him. This is just my thoughts, obviously. As you know, I've got no psychological training, but from
Mm.
my understanding of watching their behavior, watching how Harry's changed, watching how he changed because of Meghan, and watching her cosplay Diana, I do believe that she wore Diana's perfume on those first few dates because it got
Hmm.
into his brain. I mean, who doesn't associate smells with memories? You know,
Right.
I can walk past someone in the street that's wearing my dad's aftershave, and my dad's been gone 12 years, and it invokes something in me. And
Absolutely.
and her dressing like Diana. I mean, sometimes you could say the outfits were timeless and classic pieces. Catherine's worn pieces that can be compared, but some of it is, I mean, it's psychotic. And she even does the little hand gestures and the nods and does the
Yeah.
same poses. And it's creepy as hell. It makes me think of Norman Bates, single
Yeah.
white female. But because she has done that, it's all part of twisting Harry's brain. So I believe she's not only encouraged that, she's ripped the scab off the wound, as it were.
Yeah.
She's made him bring all of that up so then she can then replace the memories, as it were, with her. So she's brought all of
Yeah.
that up to the surface. I wouldn't be surprised that she's had some sort of training by someone how to be the most skilled manipulator, because it is psychotic, some of the things that she's done. And you've only got to look at the state of Harry now. I joked
Mm.
the other day and said that, you know, she's a succubus. She sucked
Mhm.
the soul out of him, but he is
Mhm.
a shell of the man that he was before all of this Diana stuff, before Meghan coming on the scene and pretending to be his mum, destroying
Mhm.
his whole life. I mean, he is responsible for it. I don't blame
Mhm.
Meghan for all of it. She's not a voodoo priestess that cast a
Mhm.
spell on him or something. This
Mhm.
this is on Harry, but
Yeah.
she's definitely really messed up his head, really.
It's interesting you say that. So, I'm in touch with Nanaki Pretty. I'm Megan's,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I speak with
I
her,
like
and yeah, she's amazing. She's a very sweet lady. And one of the
mm,
things that we talked about was Megan did do things like that. She always was imitating other women. She
yeah.
would watch interviews and she would try to emulate certain behaviors from child, like as early as, when they were young girls. And so this is something she's perfected and honed in on. And like you're right on point with what you're saying about how she tries to act like Diana. She's been practicing being able to mimic certain characteristics and behaviors of others
Yeah.
for a very long time, you
Mimic
know?
is it's a type of I can't remember if it's sociopathy or psychopathy, and it's something that people do. They mimic, they attach
Yeah.
themselves to their victim. And even the lighter version of it, where you could go out on a date with someone and they behave like the most perfect person in the entire world, because they are testing you the entire time you're on that date, finding out little bits about you, finding out
Yep.
things what makes you tick, and then they morph themselves into the most perfect human being. No, how many of us have come home from a date going, oh, I've never met someone so perfect in my entire life? Or you've made a
Right.
friend, you've made a new friend, and you think, they get me, finally they get me. 6 months, a year, 2 years later, they become your worst nightmare.
That's
That's
exactly right.
yeah. It's scary, isn't it? It's scary.
It
But
is.
some people are very, very good at it, and I would say Meghan is definitely good at it.
So that leads me to, when will Meghan become Harry's worst nightmare? Because that's what's coming next.
I think it's definitely brewing. I can't help but feel this sudden resurgence of Harry wanting to connect with the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more signs this year, and we have this storyline that builds up every so often. And I think some telltale signs personally are Meghan's birthday. There were no loved up pictures of Harry and Meghan kissing or canoodling. We haven't seen that. Now, Meghan, we know that she likes to bank photos like that. There was nothing. On her actual birthday, it was a picture of her praising herself, because we know that she wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
She praised herself on As Ever. And then it was her blowing out the cakes on the candle. That to me was very much a single, I'm getting a divorce sort of picture, wasn't it? There was nothing to do with the children, nothing to do with Harry. It was just Meghan being surrounded by friends, obviously being the center of attention. But I
Mm-hmm.
started to think, yeah, he's not with her. She would have had Harry to make that photograph sell, to make that photograph trend, a picture of Harry in the background as she blew out her cake, because she
Yeah.
knows that Harry is her bread and butter. So there are certain signs there, I think, that they're either separated or in the process of separating, hence why Harry's suddenly dashing back going, ooh, I might need a bit of backup soon. I might need a lot of money soon. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she's already his worst nightmare, because she has changed his entire life, and not for the better. Harry can keep saying that he's the happiest now he's ever been. I'm sorry, that does not look like a happy man. He doesn't sound like a happy man. He doesn't behave like a happy man. That to
Mm-hmm.
me is an unstable man that is hanging on by a thread.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. So I think that he's trying to go back to get support from his family because of the impending divorce and separation.
Friends as
And
well. Friends as well. Remember, he was caught on
yes,
the ring doorbell looking for friends. Well, I mean, it could have been looking for something else, which I won't say on your channel.
we
But
know what you
um,
mean.
there is a good chance that, he was desperately trying to get in touch with friends, because he's lost so many friends, again, through his own actions. But again, Meghan made sure that he snipped a lot of those friendships. I'm sure some of them will probably never forgive him, much like his family. She's really ensured that Harry didn't just fall out with people. He's severed the
Yes.
ties that they had.
So what do you think with the children and going back? Because that's what I anticipate happening. He's going to want to bring the children.
Again, there's a sign there that all is not well with him talking about bringing the children to be educated in the UK.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is Harry that has said he doesn't much like England when he was a teenager. He's also said that America is his home, that he loves
Mm-hmm.
America, that he doesn't miss anything. Remember, when was it? I think it was it was one of the interviews. Do you know, I lose track the amount these two appear with a microphone in front of their face. But there was one of them not too long ago where he said that he'd like to bring the children to see where he grew up, but America is their home, and he doesn't miss
Yeah.
anything.
He wants them to
And
go to, I think, one of those private
yeah,
schools.
and Harry's spent years moaning about how awful it was at school, how being
Yeah.
away at boarding school and everything. Now all of a sudden he's trying to twist it round, saying, oh yeah, well, my kids will probably go to a prep school in the UK. I love the UK, I miss the UK.
Right.
something big is afoot.
Yes.
Something is going on. It's too much of a 180. Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think Meghan, well, how would that work, you think? Because Meghan needs Harry, right? Or do you think she's going to, I think she's going to leave him. She doesn't really have any more use for him, but I could
Mm.
be wrong. But what do you think will happen with Meghan and what she's trying to do?
Now, I don't understand American divorce laws. It's very different to over in the UK. I have got a brief understanding from what I've been reading from other people's opinion pieces that
Hmm.
she will effectively, she can keep the kids and Harry won't be allowed to take them out the country very easily. But then Harry's, on a very, very special visa. His father is the king. I think all the cards will be thrown up in the air when it comes to them, because it will be such a niche type of relationship breakdown with the UK and the USA with the different laws. But there's a
Hmm.
reason why she wanted to get him in California, I'd say. With regards to Meghan, I don't think she's maternal. People can come at me for saying that. I don't think she's maternal. She uses the children as props. Whenever you see her with the children, they're disengaged from her. And I'm not saying this is anything like a personal attack on Meghan. There are plenty of people that are rich that let their nannies bring up the children. They wheel the children out when they're all bathed and dressed at parties quickly to say hello to everyone, and then the nannies take them away. And
Hmm.
I from the interactions I see with the kids, and we've seen a lot this year, haven't we, from not seeing them at
Yeah.
all. The voices when they're talking in videos, the children always seem strained. It's almost like everything they're saying is rehearsed. When Lily came out and kissed that picture,
Yeah.
when she's kissing the children, I don't have children myself, and people say that I can't judge, but I've had plenty of friends and family members that have had children. My nieces and nephews are more affectionate with me than that.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
they seem rigid around her. So there's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to that. Now, would Meghan walk away and give Harry the children for a whopping great big paycheck? Oh, I wouldn't doubt that for a second. But she
Hmm.
would then lose her hold and the manipulation and the royal stardust that she wants. So I think more than likely Harry will have one hell of a vicious, nasty battle on his hands. And Meghan's first appearance on some talk show host's couch will be the worst day of his life. We see how much she can lie. Can you imagine? Can you
Yeah.
imagine the dossier of things, the things that she'll lie to say about him? So yeah, his worst day of
Yeah.
his life will come, and it will definitely be at her hands. But I don't know how it will work with the children, in all honesty. I really don't.
Yeah. It's interesting because she is using the children now, I think, and I think that's what she will want to continue to do to make her future viable. And she
Yeah.
would need the children for that if Harry is no longer there. So yes, I think there would be a big fight, and it'd be different than a normal married couple because of the king, the son of the
Yeah.
king, and it's
It's the
just the
visa, isn't
special
it?
visa. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's because of the visa, I think. Obviously, I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to see the king sticking his head above the parapet, or Donald Trump, or whoever's the president at the time, whenever they divorce. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that visa is going to cause a lot of complications. So it'd be very.
Yeah.
I
It's
just feel so.
crazy.
My main thing is I feel very sorry for the children, and because of how negative Harry and Meghan are and how many people dislike them, I hate the fact that I see so many people write cruel and nasty things about those kids. They're not responsible for their parents' actions. They're not
Right.
responsible for becoming prince and princesses. That they didn't ask for any of this. And Harry
Mhm.
and Meghan just seem, well, Meghan more than Harry, seem determined to shove those children into the spotlight, despite obviously seeing that it does cause negative backlash. They're not putting their children first. And
Right.
I can't see that they'd even do that in a divorce. So many
Yeah.
parents, when they do divorce, it's a sad, terrible thing, but so many go, right, we've got to put the children first. My parents
Mhm.
did when they split. My mum was heartbroken, but she still
Mhm.
put my relationship with my father first before her
Mhm.
own feelings.
Mhm.
And I just think
Yeah.
they're far too selfish to ever consider, like they have the children, taking them away from all of their family.
Mhm.
That's the children that miss out. Harry and Meghan think they're getting one over on the adults, but it's the children that no longer. You won't be able to get those bonds back. It's forged in childhood. It's forged as we grow. It's they're
Right.
very, very selfish people. Anyway,
Very selfish. Yes.
rant
So
over.
yes. Do you think that she even bore those children? I mean, I get a lot of people when I mention the children
No.
say there are no children.
Oh yeah,
You,
yeah.
I don't know what other YouTubers think about that. What do you think?
I steer clear away from this on the channel. The reason why is, whilst I made a lot of comments when Meghan was originally pregnant, because everybody was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, come on. I mean, there was too many things that were going on. The bump changing sizes, her belly button being in the wrong place, and people are like, oh, you're tin hatting. But the squatting down again. No, I've not been pregnant, but I do have eyes, and I have helped many a pregnant friend up from trying to get out from just a normal chair, having dinner, and then they try and get up and they lose their balance. And that was before they were even heavily pregnant, because the baby's sitting on a nerve or something. And there she is squatting down in great big stilettos and the knees together. Come on. This is scientifically proven that a baby is solid in there. It doesn't compress. It doesn't fold back in on itself, unless you're obviously Beyonce. You remember?
Yes, I do. Yep.
But when it comes, the reason why I stay away from it, right, is because there are two children. I believe that they are their children. It doesn't matter whether they were test tube babies. It doesn't matter. I'm a test tube baby, funnily enough.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah, okay. I was conceived in a test tube. And my dad always used to make really bad jokes about that, but it's just the fact that children are born into this world all different ways. Sometimes people use surrogates, sometimes people, all different sorts of IVF treatment, and these children exist and they are their children. And that's why I tend to steer clear of the conspiracies, because those kids are getting old enough now. How many kids do you see their age are running around with iPhones? And they, if they are allowed out of the basement and they do eventually go to a school, the kids showing videos and things like that, it's going to be really tough on those two kids, let alone having grown adults talking about their parents aren't their parents. So my thoughts are, I don't believe that first pregnancy. Okay. I don't. I believe that they used a surrogate. But then saying that, when she introduced Archie to the world, that was the most pregnant that she'd looked after she gave birth to the baby. So
exactly.
Who knows?
Weird. It is weird. What do you think about the king and his stance on things? Do you think he should abdicate? A lot of people, I'm starting to hear this a lot more, ironically, because with the numbers of the monarchy are going down, it's not as popular. What are your thoughts about that?
I think King Charles spent a long time, very, very, very long time waiting to be king, and then he's been hit with cancer, which is terrible. I honestly don't think that the king is going to have a very long reign like his mother due to that illness. I mean, many people can live with cancer for years. The remarkable things that they've invented, the medication now, many people can live for decades with the disease. But the king, sometimes I look at him and he doesn't look well to me. But with regards to the popularity coming down, we've seen how much the media, mainstream media, manipulate the news. Yeah. That's why I think social media, whilst it can be really, really bad, it can also be really good, because it's enabled people from other countries to go, hey, that's not happening in our country. Why are they saying that? Or that's not true. I was there. That's, and then you can see the conflict that's going on. People can see what's really happening around the world. And I think that the royal family are very popular still. I think Catherine and William are more popular than the King and Queen Camilla. I personally think that Charles, with his health, he would be better abdicating to have a role where he supports Prince William, so he can spend a lot more time in his garden talking to his trees. He can be running a lot of things behind the scenes, still being very heavily involved with the royal family and of course with all of his projects and everything, but taking more of a back seat and allow William and Catherine. But then at the same time, their children are so young that their lives, they won't be able to have anywhere near as much time with their parents once they become king and queen. So at the same time, Charles might also take that into account. Who knows? He might want to retire early. He might want to himself. He's got to probably be exhausted. Yeah. But it will then take away those very important years of, especially Prince Louis being the youngest, but then Princess Charlotte and Prince George are still so very young. And I think that they need their parents there more than ever, guiding them through being royal teenagers, which is, could you imagine? Bad enough becoming a teenager, let alone every moment of your teenage years being there for the public to consume.
Yes,
I think for Charles's health purposes and popularity of the monarchy, yes, I think it would be a good move, but I also don't think it's practical on personal levels. So
yeah. So did you see the recent commercial for Disney? I'm sure you saw that, right? With Harry.
Oh, yeah.
What in the world? So I wonder, when do you think they did that?
They would have done that either before. I think they did it before they took the children to Disney World. The reason being is Meghan's face looks a lot fuller in the video. And I'm not weight shaming or anything, but when you look at her in that video, she looks a lot fuller in the face. Meghan has lost a lot of weight, and then when you saw her at Disney, she was back to the really slim Meghan that we see now. So I think it was a case of they're desperately trying to book anything that they can. Oh, do you want to come on this show? Can you big up Disney or something? Can you do that? And then they went there. Then they got a freebie. I mean, that's just, they've taken their children to get a freebie, to use the children to merch Disneyland because their children are a real prince and princess. I mean, I think that's pretty diabolical of them, really. I think that is pretty terrible. And again, when you look at those photographs of the children, those children don't look like they're relaxed and having fun. Even Chrissy Teigen, who I do not like, and I think she should have remained cancelled for some things that she's done. You see pictures of her and John Legend taking their children, or the Kardashians, or lots of other celebrities taking their children. Their children genuinely look like they're having fun. And they've put things over some of the celebrities, over the kids' faces. But those kids look like that they were being dragged around, They just didn't look like they were enjoying themselves. But Meghan was having the time of her life, wasn't she? She was the one in Minnie Mouse's. She was the one that was the star of the show. Right. So, I think the whole thing is pretty disgusting. But I do find it, is that why Harry was so desperate to see his dad, to get a little bit of that royal sparkle before that aired? It's got nothing to do with the king's health. Harry is just after something. But what do you think about it? I thought it was disgusting, really.
Well, it's almost like they're trying to they have to make money. They have to do commercial projects now. I can't imagine Harry was happy about doing a commercial project, but because it was Disneyland and it was something fun, I think he kind of let it, slide, I guess. But I just see them having to do more of that to sustain their lifestyle. Right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think it'll be too long before we see them on the shopping channel at this rate. Honestly, they've cheapened their own brands, as it were. But and I also found it weird where they're talking about their favorite ride. And I think taking your own children, or taking any child to a big fun day out like that, your core memory for most people would be the moment that child was having the most fun. That's the bit that makes you happy. That's the whole reason why you've gone to a kids theme park. I know lots of adults go to Disneyland, but you've gone to something like that. They're on all these kids rides. Surely your main memory would be, oh, Archie, do you remember when he was laughing so much? Do you remember when was doing this? And that's the memories. But no, it was, mine, yours, me, and
right,
all over, isn't it? So very, very strange.
So during the funeral of the Duchess of Kent, right, did you see where William was put in that position next to Andrew?
Oh, yeah, he was pissed about it. He was definitely pissed. That Andrew and Fergie behaved terribly, I think.
Yes.
From what I've seen, I didn't watch too much of it, but they were laughing and joking. Now, there were a couple of moments where even Catherine was smiling, and someone obviously said something, light-hearted. It's a lot of family all together. There's always someone that's come in with a little quirk, trying to cheer each other up.
Right.
But Andrew and Fergie laughing like that, it looked really in poor taste. But also the fact that they were pushing themselves to the front so they could deliberately be stood alongside the royals. Andrew was like, he was in the buffet line, you know, he was like, oh, there's the king. Oh,
Right.
there's Prince William. Oh, and then Andrew, if you even see him when he's talking to people, he's laughing and being really animated. And the conversation wasn't going that way. It was Andrew playing up for the cameras, just like Harry. So it made him look like that he's definitely still in with the royal fold. But again, it also shows how selfish Andrew is, because that could cause backlash for the royals, for Prince William, for the king, for people thinking, oh gosh, they're welcoming Andrew back.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's lucky that they haven't completely excommunicated him from, attending even family events. But if he's going to play up for the cameras like that, I wouldn't be too shocked if next time they're like, do you know what? You can come and pay your respects after everybody's left if you're going to do that.
Right. I thought they would choreograph that much better when they were waiting or they waiting to get in their vehicles at that point. I can't remember, but
the Duke of Kent and I believe the family, the direct family of the Duke and Duchess of Kent were leaving, because you saw Sophie blow a kiss, which I thought was really, really sweet. There's obviously a lot of, because some of them were very young. They had 10 grandchildren there. So I think that they just leave in that order. So yeah, we saw that at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, where you saw them coming out and you saw Mike and Zara Tindall hanging back as Harry and Meghan walked down the steps and got
exactly right. Yeah. But you would think that he should have known his place. Like he should have not moved up next to William like that.
He should have stayed in the shadows. He should have stayed at the back. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And you saw Prince William's jaw. I mean, what a jaw that man has got, but you could see it. He was practically looked like he was chewing, like.
Yeah, he was very tense and didn't want to really engage. And Andrew, when he smiled and said some kind of joke or something, William just like, okay,
he knew he was being used. I think he probably saw straight through the act, and he is very much, in some ways, I think he will suffer no fools. Prince William, as he's got older, has shown more and more signs of being like Prince Philip, and I think that's what the monarchy needs. I think if they're going to survive, Charles, even Prince Philip said of Charles that Charles leads with his heart sometimes over his head. Prince William, I think, obviously is very kind, caring and compassionate, but you can see there that he will be, I think that's why Harry is panicking. I think he's going to be a lot more sturdy, I would say, with relatives, especially wayward ones. But we hope.
Yes, I hope so as well, because they need that in the family now, because Charles has just made things so wimpy, I think. He's no backbone at all.
Too soft. He is too soft. I think a lot more people would have had a lot more respect for the king if he had, after Harry's latest interview, just, I don't know, maybe taken them off the, at very least, the royal family website. The fact that Harry and Meghan are still on there, I think is really bad, because Harry is becoming a diplomatic risk. And I think that the king is making a very, very silly mistake by allowing him to remain there. And not only that, they've allowed to have a link to their Sussex website, which is basically a knockoff of Sussex Royal, which they knew they were not allowed to use. They knew they were not allowed to take that. And it's like Meghan knew that she wasn't allowed to use HRH, but she has done so since the Queen's passing. They've tested everybody's patience, and yet still, oh, sorry, my dog's barking.
Oh, I can't hear him. I didn't hear him.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
okay.
He was really howling. You couldn't hear that. He was really howling.
No, I didn't hear him.
Never mind.
So you're so lucky, because my oldest, always wants to be with, like, he's like right here with me right now. Your dogs never came and sat next to you while you were like doing things?
I have a door.
Oh.
It was different before we moved, because I used to film in my living room on the floor.
Okay.
And sometimes the dogs would walk in past me. But we've got one dog. She's bless her. She's going a bit deaf. So any noise that she feels, she howls.
Oh,
And
she doesn't bark, she
yeah,
howls.
yeah, I'd
Oh,
be, if she
okay.
was sat in here and she did it, I'd be like, love them, love them. But
Okay,
yeah.
that's funny because yeah, if I put Otis outside the door, he would scratch and gnaw and bark. I mean, it
Oh,
would be a nightmare. Yeah,
yeah,
because
no, they're
pugs are
downstairs.
like that. They're very
Yeah.
clingy dogs. They're like lap dogs. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've got well those two are quite big, but Chia, our Vizsla, she's very she's a Velcro dog. She needs to know where I am at all times. She literally, you have to pull her off her like Velcro. She's very
Oh,
affectionate, but sometimes you do need to shut the door because sometimes you're like, I just I
okay.
just need
Your
five
little
minutes.
break.
Just a little breather. Thank you.
I get it. I get it. Okay, well, Taz, I just wanted to say hi and to just kind
Yeah.
of, acclimate myself a little bit to some of the other YouTubers out there for my lives. And I
Yeah.
remember watching you before I started my channel, and just, it's been a ride for all of us in this community, and it's nice to have you
Yeah.
as part of that community and seeing you at the ball with Lady. Are you going to
Oh,
come
you
next year?
too. Yeah, I'm into my. Are you going? Are you going?
Well, I have my dress now.
Ah, well, I've got to come. I've got to come see the dress. I've got to see the dress. The dress. I'm gonna have to up my dress game now though, because the 2 years that I went, I wore a pink dress and then I wore a green dress, but they were the same dress. I just loved it so much, and now
Beautiful
I'm like,
dresses. Yeah,
they're gorgeous,
beautiful.
aren't they?
They
I've got
are.
to go. I need to be able to wear them again. But yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
I do really like the event, but I've moved halfway across the country now, so it's a bit more of an upheaval. But
Oh,
I, I,
okay.
I probably will go. I probably will. It's nice.
Yeah.
How often do you get to go to a ball after all? So
Exactly, exactly. So I hope to see you there, dear. And
yes.
thanks for being with me today. It
Oh,
was nice
thank
speaking
you.
with you.
Thank you so much for having me on. And I've got to say, I mean, it's been amazing to watch your channel grow as well. You've got a great, lovely number of subscribers and just good people, good community. And I think that's very similar with your channel, with my channel. It's those people all chatting and mingling and having their own
Yeah,
little party in the comments that makes it, and it makes it fun and worthwhile. So, yeah,
absolutely.
long way. May we all continue.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you
Anyway,
so much, Taz.
thank you.
You have
And
a
I will
great
see you
day.
again. You too. Take
Okay.
care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All righty. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is, you guys don't understand. I'm trying to work these controls. Okay, so thank you so much everybody for being here. I hope you enjoyed my time with Taz. It was so lovely to speak with her and to, just talk a little bit about our experiences and get different perspectives. I really uh, do enjoy listening to lots of different perspectives. I love hearing your comments, just because sometimes there's insight you can give to us about things that we're talking about. And just like Tass was saying towards the end, this community that we have created has been amazing. And I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to be able to have a voice that you all like to listen to. And I've learned so much just by talking about everything and getting feedback about things around royalty that I never knew before, and the lovely gifts that I have received. Oh my goodness. I literally now have a museum. I have a museum of Princess Diana things. I've like the plates that I have that are in my studio. Just this beautiful painting that some lady sent me. It just, I have a lot of things that I am so appreciative just like because I have this channel now, and I'm just very grateful. So I do plan to also have a talk later with George the Giant Slayer as well, and to talk a little bit about some things around this couple that I talked about at the beginning of my live with Princess Marguerite Louise. I think that is a fascinating story. So I want to thank also some of the super chats that I received today. Tina Claw, Carmela Divine for your super sticket, and Lizzie B for gifting your the P-Dina memberships. Now, here's the thing. I do have a Patreon, and on my Patreon, I am going to be doing a special like a show around Diana. It's going to be Diana Chronicles, just things that I like to talk about around Diana. And I know it's not something popular for a lot of you on my regular channel, so I'll just put it there so that it's people that want to see it can see it, only because it's a lot of people I think don't, they want Diana to just rest, and I get that. I get that. I still would like to be able to, you know, voice my opinions about her. I think there are just some things that I've learned, new things about Diana that I never knew before because of my channel. It's been a very enlightening experience. So I will be doing that, and having, also later there's going to be a raffle. There's some items that I want to raffle off, and some things that were gifted to me that I was told that I could raffle off. So I will be doing that as well. So with that said, so I let me just put up the channel for Taz. To her channel is According to Taz, so you can all check her out. And if you are also on Facebook, you can like me or find me on Facebook and like my videos there. I do videos with Otis. And wait a minute, hold on. No, it's this one, right? No, wait a minute. I got the wrong one. But no, this is the right one right here. Oh my goodness, this one. Yep, Facebook. It's at the little ticker at the bottom. Okay. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Taz, and I will see you next week in my next week's lives. I'm back at my regular time at 5 o'clock, and I will be posting the video tomorrow as well. So thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.